today we will going to discuss about the volcanic materials and landforms. This video is for part 2 session of volcanicity and landforms. Okay, volcanic materials discharged during eruption include gases and vapors, lavas, fragmental materials and ashes. Let's focus on vapors and gases. Stream and vapor constitute 60 to 90% of the total gases discharged during a volcanic eruption. Stream and vapors include phreatic vapor and magmatic vapors, whereas volcanic gases include carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, etc. Besides, certain compounds are also ejected with the volcanic gases. For example, sulfurated hydrogen, hydrochloric acid, volatile chloride of iron, potassium and other metallic matters. Now come on to the magma and lavas. Generally, molten rock material are called magmas below the earth's surface, while they are called lavas when they come at the earth's face. Lavas and magmas are divided on the basis of silica percentage into them. On the basis of this, they are divided into two groups. Firstly, acidic lava, which has higher percentage of silica, and the second is basic lava, which has low percentage of silica. Lavas and magmas are also classified on the basis of light and dark colored material into felsic lava and mafic lava. Basaltic or mafic lava is characterized by maximum fluidity. Basaltic lava spread on the ground surface within maximum flow speed from a few kilometers to 100 kilometers per hour, average flow speed being 45 to 65 km per hour. Due to high fluidity and low viscosity, basaltic lava is hottest lava, whose temperature varies between 1000 degrees Celsius to 1200 degrees Celsius. Lava flow is divided into two types on the basis of Hawaii language. Firstly, Pahoho, and the second is Aa lava flow or block lava flow. Pahoho lava has high fluidity and spread like thin sheets. This is also known as ropey lava. On the other hand, Aa lava is more viscous. Pahoho lava, when solidified in the form of sacs or pillow, it is called pillow lava. Now come on to the fragmental or pyroclastic material. Pyroclastic materials thrown during explosive or eruption are grouped into three categories. Firstly, essential materials, which includes consolidated forms of live lava. This is also known as tephra, which means ash. Essential materials are unconsolidated and their size is up to 2 mm. Next is accessory material, which are formed due to dead lava. And the last is accidental material, which includes fragmental materials or clustered rocks. On the basis of the size of pyroclastic materials are grouped into volcanic dust, which is finest particles, volcanic ashes, which size is about 2 mm, lapilli, which size is of the size of a piece, and volcanic bombs, which size 6 cm or more. Sometimes volcanic bombs weighted 100 tons and are thrown up to a distance of 10 km. Now come on volcanic landforms. Numerous types of landforms are created due to cooling and solidification of magmas below the earth's surface and lavas at the earth's surface, and due to accumulation of fragmental materials, dust and ashes with lava, such as different types of volcanic cones. The cones and craters are not always permanent landforms because they are changed and modified during every successive eruption. The topographic features produced by the entire process of volcanicity are grouped into two broad categories. First is extrusive topography and the second is intrusive topography. Let's discuss about extrusive topography. The first landform of this category are cinder or ash cones. These are usually of low height and are formed of volcanic dust and ashes and pyroclastic matter The formation of cinder cones is initiated due to accumulation of finer particles around volcanic vent in the form of tiny mound, say ant mound, which varies in height from a few centimeters to a few meters in the beginning. The volcanic cones of Mount Zorullo of Mexico, Mount Izalco in San Salvador, Mount Comiguin of Luzon Island of Philippines, etc. are typical example of cinder cones. Now come on to the composite cones. These are the highest of all volcanic cones. These are formed due to accumulation of different layers of various volcanic materials, and hence these are also called as stratocones. In fact, these cones are formed due to deposition of alternate layers of lava and fragmental materials, wherein lava acts as cementing material for the compaction of fragmental materials. Most of the highest symmetrical and extensive volcanic cones of the world comes under this category. For example, Mount Santa, Mount Rainier, Mount Hood in USA, Mount Mayon of Philippines, Mount Fujiyama of Japan, and Mount Cotopaxi of Ecuador, etc. Now come on to the parasite cones. Several branches of pipes comes out from the main central pipe of the volcano. When the volcanic cones are enormously enlarged, lavas and other volcanic materials come out from these minor pipes, and this material are deposited around the newly formed vent located on the outer surface of the main cones, and thus several smaller cones are formed on major cones. These cones are called parasite cones because the supply of lava for these cones comes from the main pipe. These cones are also known as adventive or lateral cones. Sustina cone is the parasite cone of Mount Shasta of the USA. Now come on to the basic lava cone. This is formed of light and less viscous lava with less quantity of silica. In fact, when the lava coming out of fissure flow is deficient in silica and is characterized by high degree of fluidity, it cools and solidifies after spreading over larger area. Thus a long cone with significantly low height is formed. Such cones are also known as sealed cones because of their shapes resembling a shield. Since these cones are composed with basaltic lavas, they are also called as basic lava cones. These are also known as Havana type of cones. Acid lava cones. These are formed where the lavas coming out of volcanic eruptions are highly viscous and rich in silica content. In fact, such viscous lavas have very low mobility, and hence they are immediately cooled and solidified after their appearance on the Earth's surface. Thus, high cones and steep slopes are formed. Such cones are very often known as Strombolian type of cones. Now come on to the lava domes. These are in fact similar to sealed cones in one way or the other. Lava domes differ from sealed cones as regard their size. Actually, lava domes are larger and more extensive in size than the sealed cones. These are formed due to accumulation of solidified lavas around the volcanic vent. Based on the mode of origin and the place of formation, lava domes are divided into three categories. The first is plug domes, which is formed of lavas due to filling of volcanic vents. The second is endogenous dome, which is formed of silica-rich viscous lavas, and the last is exogenous dome, which is formed of silica-deficient lava with high degree of fluidity. Now come on to the lava plugs. They are formed due to plugging of volcanic pipes and vents when volcanoes become extinct. These volcanic columns of solidified lavas appear on the Earth's surface when the volcanic cones are eroded away. The lava-filled volcanic pipe is called as volcanic neck. Here are some depressed forms of landforms. The first is craters. The depression formed at the mouth of the volcanic vent is called a crater or a volcanic mouth. And the second is calderas. Generally enlarged form of crater is called caldera. Smaller calderas housed in a big caldera are called nested calderas or grouped calderas. Now come on to the intrusive topography. The first intrusive topography is plutonic igneous rock. These are formed due to cooling of magmas very deep inside the earth. Granite is the best representative example of this category. And the second is hypabyssal igneous rocks. These are formed due to cooling and solidification of rising magmas during volcanic activity in the cracks, pores and hollow places just beneath the earth's surface. The resultant rocks are called as hypabyssal igneous rock. This type of rocks are classified on the basis of their origin. They are batholiths. Batholiths are long, irregular and undulating form of solidified intruded magmas. They are usually dome shaped and their side wall was very steep, almost vertical. The upper portion of the batholith are seen over the earth's surface. In Chotnagpur Plateau of India, mainly Ranchi Plateau, where such batholith domes are called as Ranchi batholith. The second is laccoliths. The word laccolith has been derived from German word laccos, meaning thereby lithos or rocks. These are formed due to injection of magmas along the bedding planes or horizontally bedded sedimentary rocks. Now come on to the phaccoliths. These are formed due to injection of magma along the anticline and synclines in the regions of folded mountain. The next topography is lopolith. The word lopolith has been derived from German word lopus, means thereby a shallow basin or bowl-shaped body. When magma is ejected and solidified in a concave shallow basin whose central part is sagged downward, the resultant form of solidified magma is called a lopolith. Now come on to the silts. The word silts has been derived from an Anglo-Saxon word seal, meaning thereby a ledge. The silts are usually parallel to the bedding planes of sedimentary rocks. The last topography is dikes. Dikes represent wall-like formation of solidified magmas. These are mostly perpendicular to the beds of sedimentary rocks. A well-defined dike is observable across the Paleo Channel and valley of the Narmada River near Dhanbadhar Falls in Vargat near Jabalpur city. Okay, so that's all for this session. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep learning, and please subscribe our channel. Thank you.